Right, morning guys. As title says, can the Bluetti AC500 with only one B300s battery replace my old petrol generator? I'm going to do hopefully a review for me whether this system could do with an additional battery, I think, but I could only afford one, so I've paid this out of my own money. So as far as I'm concerned, I suppose I can give it my own personal review. Got it here in the workshop, just to see whether it'll run the certain equipment that I need to run out in the van, and whether it will be a viable option instead of the petrol generator. She's tired, she's old, she's now having problems. Smelly, have to keep filling out with fuel, and it takes quite a bit of space. These aren't small, by the way, and I will put the weights up. They're not the lightest things either. But the AC500 5000 watt is what caught my eye. The generator I've got is a 6 kilowatt, 6 kVA, only a 16 amp outlet on the generator and a 110. Don't use the 110. This has a 32 amp outlet, as well as five 240 volt outlets. So I'm going to set a camera up there. We're going to try it on the plasma, we're going to try it on the compressor, we're going to try it on the welder. For me, the main reason I need something maybe that big is for the welder when we're out on site. But if it can run additional stuff, brilliant. Now, it's a lot of money, don't get me wrong, and I have looked into going along the routes of maybe a Victron Easy Solar, which does the inverter, charger, and it has an MPPT in it. At the moment, current price is about 3.6. Most probably on sale you could get it, but then you've got to get yourself a 48 volt battery. These are obviously 48 or 51 point something. Like I say, I'll put the specs there. It's not a review of how this is. Well, it's a review for me to see whether this will achieve what I want it to achieve out on the road. Obviously it can charge multiple ways, which is good for me. Okay, a generator can run
all day, just keep filling out with fuel. I mean, we have a long run tank, so it does about 7 hours. Like I said, it's noisy, it's smelly, and the other purpose for this is that there might be an up-and-coming future video. Someone wants me to go into London to do some welding where I can't use a generator. There is no power, or I can't take the generator into the building where I need to go and do some welding, and there is no power there. So it could be an option. Let's see. So I'll try and stop waffling. Not very good at this. Need to try and put some more videos up. The first thing I'm going to do is see whether it runs the big compressor on the 240. I'll go around onto the display so we can see what it's drawing. We'll get that charge through there, plug it into the plasma, try the plasma. I haven't got much help on it running the plasma, and I'll show you my setup. So let me give you a spin and we'll see what I've done.
So, as I say, there's the Bluetti. It's not turned on yet. Excuse my finger. One battery. At the moment, I've got one extension lead plugged in, and that literally goes round to here, and it's plugged straight in to my compressor. So no trickery here. I'm not running it. There's no other cables plugged into here. We're not charging from the charging point or anything, because I need to know myself whether this will actually do what I need it to do. I bought the 32 amp plug. They got a special plug that you need for that. So I've literally wired some 6mm cable, and I've literally, I don't know, maybe this is over the top, maybe I didn't need to do it, but I thought I need to put some sort of safety in. So I've put a couple of trips in. You can see they're off at the minute, and one there, and literally just plugged in a 32 and a 16, and also I've got a 16 to a 3-pin 13 amp, so I can put that in there. So what I plan to do is have this in the van and sort of solely run off the 32 amp. So as I say, no trickery there again. That's the cable coming out of there, comes around the floor, up into there. Now the reason this is as long as it is, I obviously don't know where that's going to go in the van at the minute. So I can position that where I want and then plug my leads into it, or not, as the case may be. Might be long enough to move it in and out. Got an earth stake that I can put on there. to chuck out as well, so that's sort of earthed to ground when we're on site. As I said, there's only one battery. It's plugged in there. This is the only bit I would say I don't like about this, is the way the battery cable plugs in and then you have this big loop. It's quite a lot of room to take. Why they can't make an angled plug, so it literally could come out, come down, plug in, and then the next one could come out here, go down, plug in, and so on and so forth. If you've got this as a home installation, which I think they're trying to market this, then obviously that wouldn't be maybe an overly a big problem. But if you're trying to fit that setup in a van, you've got to remember you've got to have this. If you've got a garage space and a problem, stack one on top of the other one. Plus these batteries charge independently because there's no batteries in this. This is just solely a charger. So let's power her up and see what happens. I'll switch you over to the camera. Charged this up a couple of days ago. It came with 56. It's at 99 at the moment, so it's lost 1%, just sat there basically. I'll get the other camera set up there. We'll switch it on and we'll see what happens. Right, let's see if that works. As you can see, that's pulling 332, I think it was. I'll put the display up here, all around here. So while that's building up with air, I've got the plasma set up here. We'll plug the plasma in. Like I say, that's quite a big draw on that. I've turned it down, got it on about 30 amps, I think it is, or whatever. So no, less than that. So 45 amp plasma, I suppose, on a full whack. Not cutting very thick material here. It's very seldom I take the big plasma out. I usually take the smaller 230 plasma, which has got a little built-in compressor. It's alright for small stuff, but I've got a plate I need to cut up today, so I thought, well, let's give it a try and see whether we'll cut this thickness of plate. So
lovely day today. Going to get some solar panels as well, because I think you can do pass-through on it, so while it's drawing you can actually have power going in. I think I've just left it was on about 98%, so we'll see what it records percentage in a minute. Another one of my little, I suppose, pet hate is the screen doesn't stay illuminated. You have to keep touching the screen. Now whether that's fixable on a firmware update or it's in the settings, like I say, I haven't really bothered looking in the settings. So we'll wait for that to finish building up and we'll see if we can cut this bit of plate here.
So here's the bit of plate. I've got my markings on there, what I want to need to cut. It's about 5-6 mil thick. As I say, we're all set up and it's plugged in there. So let's just let that finish building up there. Right, I've changed it. I think it's sleep time. So I've changed the sleep time on it. Let's see, we're at 87%. Just sat there pulling 65 to 69. So let me go and give that a go and see what we get now. I've turned it up slightly. As again, excuse the camera, plugged in on the 32, literally goes round and round and into the fuse board. Just basically it's household fuse board that I'm using, just for safety. And like I said, into the 16, and I've got the welder plugged in. That's the gas. Comes round. There's the MIG welder, and just gonna do a bit of welding. So, like I said, there's no external power going to this. This is just plain and simply it. So let's switch it back on. So initialize, whatever it's doing. So right, we've got 65% battery. So I'm going to get this other phone on. Scream on. Scroll out. So literally that's all I've done. Got that. Showing that. Let's flick the fuse and that on. No load it's saying at the minute. So as I go out there and turn the welder on, we should get a bit of load. AC on. AC on. Right. Welder's started up. Still says she's not drawing anything at the minute. Obviously the little, here we go, 35, 39, 40, 41. That's the fans running on the MIG welder. I'll go out and do a couple of spots of MIG welding and see what happens. Safety first, but put my gloves on. So let's go and have a look. Right, on 64. So, conclusion, it welds. I don't know what the output was on that. Like I say, I haven't got the welder cranked right up. I've got it really on the settings that I use more or less all the time. So for me, that's a bit of a winner chicken dinner on that. So, give me a few minutes. I've got to strip the wheel off. I'll carry on doing some welding and just record and basically see how much percentage it uses.